So I don't think I've seen anybody talking about this dogs team because this is kind of absurd. The first thing you're going to notice is that we are not running Thonar, and I'm not sure there's a lot, if many, if at all, teams that can do that easily enough as this team probably can. So it's the exact same team that we did for the Demon King fight, right? We have Baldr, Nanashi, Freyr, and Green Hawkslow, who is criminally at SA3 with no UR gear, and I didn't even bother awakening the middle. So triple defense on Baldr, we do have crit damage in the top row, and then normal HP gear on Nanashi and attack crit on Freyr. And we gave Sariel to Baldr because he obviously is going to be critting a lot, and then, you know, the rest is kind of explanatory. The artifact set's obviously going to be the Deer set, which is the anti-freeze, which we do need against the dogs. And that is the setup. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so on the first turn, it's going to be pretty technical, right? You got to be very careful how you do this. So, if you blink twice, you'll probably miss it. But in case you weren't looking, all we did was move Baldr 4 times, because this starting counter that he is in is enough to one-tap the white dog. Now granted, he does have a defense buff up, so he didn't one-tap that time. But depending on the order of the cards, you probably can. Phase 2, we do have our stance, relatively easy. Now what we're going to do here, okay, is I'm actually going to buff with Hawkslow. There's a little bit of RNG involved here. On the next phase, I believe the dogs will do their random seals. So stance disable, buff disable, attack down, and curb rank 2s or higher. So if we buff here, because it lasts 2 turns, we are guaranteed to keep that buff on when we go Baldr ulted. See? So there's the lock. The buff lock went on Freyr, right? But we don't have to deal with that RNG at all. So you're going to see this is a 1/6 Baldr ult, and we'll throw out some insurance cards, see if we need it. See what this looks like. 1.5 mil. As probably because Baldr had the attack down, but it's attack related down, so the crit damage probably wasn't there. That's probably what that was. But, depending on the debuff, if he gets literally anything else, you're going to one-tap with a 1/6 Baldr, which is pretty hype, right? You love to see it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Floor 2, it's going to have higher stats. Surely we need to deal some extra damage on the first phase. Negative. We're going to quad move Baldr again, and we're going to let this starting counter talk its talk, okay? We got that defense buff up on White Dog again. 600k, whatever. Ooh, he's double stacking. Okay, that's crazy. I don't remember saying you could double dip. Well, it's still hitting a mill, but that works perfectly. So, this is where a little bit of RNG does come in. We are annoyingly stance locked, which does suck. So what we're going to do is what we can. It's going to be just some attacks, nothing crazy. Pretty much all of our single target attacks onto the black dog there. Now, we're not going to hit cap, sadly. We don't have the damage. We really want to see our counter. So what you could do is reset and pray that the stance lock is on a different unit. Like, in this case, it's on Nanashi. And the buff lock is not on Hawkslow, which is good. So what I could do now is what we did before. I could buff here, stance, and, I don't know, merge some stuff, see what happens. So let's see what this damage looks like. Obviously, the dogs didn't do anything crazy to us, I don't think. 900k? You could one-tap there on first phase if we didn't have all these negative stats here. Or, sorry, the start of the second phase. So we already buffed, right? So we don't have to deal with this stupid nonsense. We don't have Nanashi buffs, so that cucks us. That's going to cuck our damage here. We're still going to pretty much blow our load, I would say, into the black dog. Right, because you still want to kill him first because of his extort. That's going to be annoying to deal with. 586 is not the number that we're a big particular fan of. But we'll get him low. We'll get him pretty good. So now, whatever attacks... Oh, that's the other RNG part. The freeze is going to cuck if he freezes Baldr. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about that part. But if Baldr does get his stance up with some stacks, he'll one-tap. He is still him. He's still a crazy, crazy counter unit for this. Now, I think the question that we're all waiting to find the answer to is if floor 3's stats are low enough for us to be cheeky again. And let's see. Our quad move with Baldr and see what the counter can do. Again, the Black Dog is opening with the damage decrease buff. We're patiencing the White Dog AoE, and we're still hitting for 700k. Followed by a 900k counter. So, I think you're going to 2-tap phase 1 every single time. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing that we did last floor. We're going to pre-set up with the buff. Oh, wait. We need to remove our freeze first. We'll pre-set up with this buff. And I think I'm going to try burning this Baldr card this time in hopes that I can maintain the Nanashi buff. Because I'll have the freeze immunity, so I won't lose it going into phase 3 if he tries to freeze me. It does seal, which is great because we already have ult. We're not worried about it. 1.1 on that counter, just crazy. I think he buff stripped, didn't he? Because I just lost the buff. I wasn't paying attention. And, okay, so we actually pulled an extra Baldr card, so it's a good thing that we burned that. And then, like I said, we miscalced on that, on buffing here. We don't have another one, so that sucks. Oh well, we're still going to ult and attack, and, probably work on Freyr. 700k. The damage is gone. The 1/6 is showing. That's okay. We got another counter. Ooh, it's a drain. So that sucks, because if I get frozen, I can't do anything. Sorry. I didn't get countered. I can get Freyr ults. That's pretty big. Wait, do we just win here because the counter's up? I think if at any point you get your counter up, you just win. Let's see. White Dog's pretty healthy. Patience, crazy. 1.5 by Black Dog. He's taunting, okay. Oh, the adaptation buff. Oh, it doesn't matter. 1.2 mil on the counter. Okay, so what we've learned is that there are some RNG aspects based on those debuffs, but you can still play around them relatively easily. And if you get a super smooth run where Hawkslow doesn't get buff sealed and Baldr doesn't get stance sealed, it could be really, really fast. But I would say it's not as reliable as other options. So, but that's going to be a Thonarless unknown Baldr team, I guess. If you guys like to drop a thumb, maybe so if you're into that. And I'll see you in the next one.